Hello everyone, and welcome to another PDH Deck Tech. I'm Joseph, and this week we are going to be looking at Jeskai, giving us the colors white, blue, and red. Our commander today is Warden of the Eye. Warden of the Eye is a 3/3 Djinn wizard for 2 blue, red, white that has, when it enters the battlefield, return target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard to your hand. Now, this creature has an enter the battlefield effect, which is not good news. The better news is that we have access to white and blue in this deck, so we have access to the best colors for abusing this. The other good news is that this ability is incredibly open-ended. We could really focus on any theme that isn't creature-heavy. That being said, I recently made an artifact-heavy deck with 2 of these colors, and the recursion isn't consistent enough for spells as transient as instants and sorceries. So today, we're going to be going with an enchantment theme. With these colors, we have a toolbox of enchantment effects that can really do anything we need. For drawing cards, 2 great cheap options are Betrayal and Mystic Remora. If our opponent has a deck reliant on a tap effect or attacking, we'll get value off of it. If our opponents have Spellslinger, Artifact, or Enchantment themes, we'll get value out of it. And best of all, we don't have to sweat too much about Mystic Remora's upkeep cost, because we can just get it back from the graveyard with our commander. Later in the game, we can use powerful tap enchantments to draw us cards, with Ocular Halo and Quicksilver Dagger. Both of these are fantastic enchantments that will give us great, consistent card draw. We will also be using our enchantments for removing our opponent's threats. Seal of Cleansing is perfect for threatening our opponent's artifacts and enchantments. Minimus Containment can remove any permanent that might be causing us trouble, and Pendrel Flux is just a really fun card to force our opponents to choose between losing their best creature or most of their mana each turn. Now, the big downside to enchantment-based removal is that it's slow, right? Wrong. With enchantments such as Lawmage's Binding, Stunning Strike, and Tamiyo's Completion, we can shut down any creature our opponents have at instant speed. But the best enchantments to deal with our opponent's creatures will be forcing them to attack each other. So we're going to be running all 3 impetus cards: Shiny, Psychic, and Martial. These will go to our opponent's creatures and give us benefits such as treasures, scrying, or an anti-pump. But what about our own creatures? Now, these colors will give us plenty of enchantment synergy. Starnheim Courser and Transcendent Envoy will both reduce the cost of our enchantments. Heliod's Pilgrim can be used to tutor any aura out of our deck, while Lotus Eye Mystics is a great backup for our commander's recursion ability. We also have some excellent constellation effects. Captivating Unicorn will allow us to tap down any enemy creature, while Harvest Guard Alcides will protect any creature we want from damage. In addition, Student of Ojutai and Pyroceratops will both trigger off of enchantments, giving us life gain and rapidly accumulating +1 counters. What we really need, though, are some heroes. A Crone Crusader will give us creature tokens each time we enchant it, and Arena Athlete will be able to prevent key blockers. A Crone Skyguard and Champion of the Flame will gain +1 counters or +2/+2 in addition to their enchantment buffs. Wavecrash Triton will allow us to freeze down creatures, and Enchanting Hero of the Games will pump our entire team. Now, we've got enchantments to deal with our opponents, and we've got our band of heroes, but there's still something missing that's going to help us close out the game. Here, I'm going to get into the enchantments that will imbue our heroes with the strength to take down any threat. Now, at this point, you could probably toss in whatever buffing auras you want to empower your creatures, since there are literally hundreds of them. But these are the ones that I went with. First, I want to look at synergies with our color identity and our theme of auras. This led me to 2 cycles of cards: Rune Marks and Magemarks. Jeskai Rune Mark and Mardu Rune Mark will give our creature +2/+2, and then also either flying or first strike. Both of these will trigger so long as we have a white permanent, which will be very easy in this deck. More powerful are Fencer's Magemark and Infiltrator's Magemark. These are auras but they'll buff every single enchanted creature, giving them all +1/+1 and either first strike or unblockable. We also have 2 great Voltron enchantments, with Asha's Favor giving our creature flying a first strike and vigilance, and Ethereal Armor, which will instantly pump our creature for each enchantment we control, and even gives it first strike. For just 1 mana. Honestly, sometimes it's baffling what cards have been printed at common rarity. And if you're interested in triggering those heroics multiple times, we can do that too, with Conviction and Gitu Fire Breathing, picking these enchantments up and playing them again and again to get those effects over and over. To protect these creatures and these enchantments, we'll be running some instant speed protection with Alexi's Cloak and Benevolent Blessing. But we do have to be very careful with the type of protection we run in this deck, since applying Shroud and Protection could hold our own auras. Instead, I was able to find an old mechanic that will perfectly protect our creatures and their auras: phasing. Here, I'm going to use Reality Ripple as a flexible instant effect, and Vanishing as a repeatable option. So long as we can keep up 2 blue mana, our biggest creature and their auras are just untouchable. And just in case we do lose something important, we can use Tethmos High Priest to bring back a creature, or we can use our commander to bring back an enchantment. Now, we are going to make full use of our commander, triggering his effect again and again using blink spells like Ephemerate and Momentary Blink. And we also have some flexible blink with Flicker of Fate and Teferi's Time Twist, which can be used to move an enchantment or blink a creature. These are going to trigger one of our new background enchantments with Candlekeep Sage, which will draw us 2 cards each time we blink our commander, while Flaming Fist wants our commander to go aggro, giving it double strike. We will then capitalize on its multicolored nature with Clout of the Dominus, giving our commander +2/+2, Shroud, and Haste, and Steel of the Godhead, which will give our commander +2/+2, Lifelink, and Unblockable, allowing us to simultaneously take out our opponents and regenerate our life force. And that's my Warden of the Eye deck. It's one of the most open-ended commanders I've worked with in a while, but here I've been happy to take advantage of a single card type that is a complete toolbox, as we have enchantments to deal with every situation we could come across. And so long as we have at least 1 creature on the board, we can use our enchantments and heroic effects to turn any creature into a major threat. This deck is going to cost us about $17.50. The deck list is in the description. Please like and subscribe, and come back next week when we play with Power in Jund.